Yo, what is up? Excuse me. It is A to the O, Agent Orange, with a triple Ractonite, triple Paleotrex build for you today. And boy, oh boy, what a pain in the nutsack this dude was. Don't get me wrong, the creative part of making it is always awesome. It's always fun and challenging, but where it killed me on our guy is a lot of the ports and some of the pegs. Maybe it's just after repeated mold making, they're loose. And to hold such a big figure together, you need them to be super tight. And I'm not even talking about they're just kind of fitting. Yo, they're just like super duper loosey goosey. And see, even there. And oh, come on, guys, we're on camera right now. Come on, best face forward. That's his back. And dude, it was such a pain. Just because all the parts were like, the pegs were coming off the. No, come on, guy, don't embarrass me on camera. Because all the pegs are coming out of the ports, and granted, homeboy is heavy. These joints are probably not meant to tolerate all this weight that I stacked up on top of this dude. But before he collapses, oh no! See, that motorcycle sound outside messed me up. And so before he collapses on me, I'm gonna show you how to build him, and so he doesn't look like a mess. Oh, come on, homie, you're embarrassing me. You're embarrassing me. All right, hold up for a second. Okay, I'm back. Kind of. I had to resituate him, so the rack is back. If you notice throughout the video, you're going to see these little strips of paper, basically. That's out of focus at the moment. Because these were what I used to strengthen the joint. This is that flimsy, like, that little warning paper that comes with the Hasbro toys. The little white sheet. But anyway, I'm going to break Homeboy down for you. It's going to take a while. So, hey, strap yourself in. So if you want to make this dude stay committed and, yeah, see it through to the end. And again, if you like what you see, like, sub, share, and all that good jazz, notifications. I really, really appreciate it. And again, yeah, we're going to break this guy down. Bite-sized parts. So I'm probably going to alleviate some weight off the top. You know what? I'm just going to do the basic stuff. I'm just going to crack him open at the waist. And okay, one second. Okay, he's all split up right now, and there's a reason why I didn't do this on camera, because like I said, it's hard to do. But one of the interesting things about this build is that usually when I'm making the builds, the port is pointing downward, and there's a peg pointing upward, and it just kind of. But in this situation, the port is horizontal. Do you see it? And so is the peg right there, and so it has to kind of kyop. And so that's a little bit different. And by the way, because he's so unwieldy, I am not going to put him together at the end of the video. So if you like seeing the completed build, just keep watching the first minute over and over. It also helps with the algorithm too, so I'd appreciate that. The almighty YouTube algorithm. So all right, these are the legs that are coming apart. Just wish. I mean, I don't want to permanently tighten them with like super glue or anything like that, and so these pieces of paper will have to do. So anyway, these are the legs, and so each leg, well, the crotch piece in the middle is that rack leg connector. Y'all know that, right? And so basically each of the legs, I'm just gonna pop this out. I'm just gonna show you the leg one by one. I actually like the design a lot. It's a little bit like some of my other designs that I made, but I actually flipped it over. Some of my other designs, this is actually the front of the leg, but I decided to use this one as the front of the leg. And so it is just rack torso, rack dino head, and there's a paleo claw. You see it, right? Paleo claw. Rack waist. Rack big leg. Rack small leg. And here is a rack big leg, rack small leg, and two paleo calves. Robot calves. The dinosaur crest for the Ractonite, and one of the spears that's actually kind of plugged into this leg. Woo! That's a mouthful, huh? So yeah, one more time. Rack crest, rack body, dino head, big leg, small leg, waist connector, paleo foot, paleo calf. Ooh, all right. Now, these paleo calves are here just to kind of beef up the leg. This is the right leg, and so I'm just going to pop this off. And this over here, I can pop off as well. But you know what? You got to take this off first. This is really just here to beef this up, because if I, oh wow, what a tight fit. I wish the rest of the toy fit like this, because if I take this off, you can see how skinny the top looks. And when I connect it to that hip piece, it is not smexy. It's like that, and that's why I put that thing up there. So yeah, so this thing plugs into the head, and as you do that, that little cavity on the calf piece, that's where you insert the little tiny spiky thing. So it goes in there like that. So anyway, you take that off, and then you take off the other rack. Man, look at all this garbage. These pieces of paper. You see how many like ports I had to like strengthen and or thicken. And all right, so the rack legs are off, and now so on the back, this crazy looking contraption over here is because the leg needs to stand and it needs stability. And so what that is look, this is the crux of it. It's that rack hip connector, and it connects in so many different spots. And to basically keep this here, you take this all apart just by removing this, and this is plugged in to the side of the rack torso, and I had to again thicken this hole for this to stick like this. Otherwise it would have been all loosey goosey. So a little piece of paper stuffed in there, kind of, or not. Okay, doesn't matter. This piece, okay, look, so this is the rack hip. One of the thigh bits extends and it plugs into the small foot. The heel of the small foot plugs into the big foot, and then the big foot basically plugs into that center part right there. One of the other hip connectors extends out and it connects, oops, sorry, let me get this back on camera, and connects into the that little hole that you see on the it connects that little hole right there that you see on the paleo dino foot. Sorry, I'm not getting like flustered right now. But you connect all of those things together, and then you plug it in, and then basically you have a stable foot. Once again, yeah. Rack hip connector. Rack hip connector plugged into small foot. Heel of small foot plugged into the top of the big foot. And then sole of the big foot plugged into the center peg of the hip connector. And then one of the leg pieces plugged into the hole in the paleo foot. Why does that part keep messing me up? This bit over here is the big leg. It's plugged into the small leg, and then that port is plugged into the back of the dino head. And then right here, the neck bit. See how that all came off? That goes, and that part goes, and then that's it. That's it. Yeah. And so when you plug everything in, it turns to this thing. So again, forgive me for not putting all of this stuff together. Just scrub to certain parts of the video where you can see this all better. And oh wow, this is so much more focused than the first part of the video. Okay, off to the sides, off to the sides, off to the sides. Man, so let's look at him. How am I going to do this? All right, I'll take an arm off. I'll take an arm off over here. Oh, I forgot to mention, like, dude, he has this like this little head bit thing that comes. Oh, that entire bit came off. But yeah, he has this like this war helmet type thing, which I think is pretty cool. And so, you know what? Let me focus on the arms first. This is the right arm. This connects to the shoulder piece, like so. And so we'll just examine this for a second. So this is the top. This is the hip covering for the Ractonite. It is plugged into the dinosaur head of the Paleotrex. A buckler here to kind of cover that open port. And there's the blade thing from the Paleotrex. And he's kind of holding this, what is it, staff thing? But as you can see, it's not like one piece. It has a bit of an illusion when you look at it like that. It may be kind of like that, but in actuality, it's two parts. So it's this. And this is basically the dino hand. You plug in two of the tiny spikes to the side, connected to the paleo blade, two more little tiny rack spikes, then the big rack tail piece at the top. And that's the top of the axe handle. The bottom of the axe handle is just the tail. And I'm going to remove that. Let's see, I'm going to remove that top part too. So just focus on this. I said this is the bicep. It's plugged into the dinosaur head. You pop that off. That's a very recognizable piece. And at the bottom, we have the blade and we have a dino hand. And we have this head thing to kind of secure this thing in place. But it's already plugged in right there to that thing. And so that's the hand. That's the hand. And you plug that in right there. And that empty cavity beyond the head actually will help support the arm. And yeah, so it closes and opens and vice versa. Yeah. And in order to plug this in, that little hole on the bottom of the hand, that's where you plug it. Cool. In order to plug this thing in, that little hole that's right there, yeah, right there, you plug that thing right there, and then you have your axe bit. So all of this goes inside. I knew this was going to be a burn to do, but still, I'm having fun embarrassing myself and sharing this with y'all. So, all right. So this funky thing is this like shaman, I don't know, like witchcraft wand stuff. Same thing at the top. That's the shoulder part that plugs into the body. You remove that, and it's the same thing over here. Headwood buckler, and everything's the same. So I'm just going to actually focus on this part. Everything is the same up to here. And this is just the paleo top of the tail, the rack hip covering, and the dino head just plugged in. And then you plug in the dino head into that little port using the gray bit. And that's it. And I'm going to move this off to the side. Oh man. Oh man. All right. So here is the torso again. And yeah, like I said, I really like this part. It's like, we're going to war, boys. And like it actually connects to that spike up there too. So I really like that. You know what? Let's just take this off. What this is basically is just, yeah, it's just the paleo rib thing. And you have the rack tail wedged in there. But when you plug it in, you take that hole and you actually plug it into the head. And so it's connected in two areas, like that. So you pop it off. And this, all right, let's take this buckler off so it kind of reveals a little bit more. There you go. You see that? That's a little bit more recognizable. All right, there's a dinosaur head here, and that's the end, the opposite side of the dinosaur face. And then you unplug the tail as well. And see, this is a solid piece because it's connected in so many different places. All right. See, this is all ugly and asymmetric. I didn't have anywhere else to put that foot, so I put it right there. But yeah, let me see what's the best way to do this. All right, let's do this. Start by unplugging these big rack leg. Oh, you know what? Let me tell you the parts that you need. Rack body, 2 paleo ribcage thighs, 2 paleo upper part of the tail, 2 small rack legs, 1 paleo dino bit, 2 of the big rack legs, 2 of the small rack legs, 2 paleo calves in there, and a dinosaur foot, and paleo robot head. So what you do is start by unplugging these things over here. All right. Now that's off. These things are actually plugged into one side of the top of the tail, and the other half of the tail is plugged into the front of the rib. And so I'm just gonna, yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna okay, this came off. That's probably a good way to do it. Thank you, universe. Take those parts out then, and it's just this. And it's plugged in right there. And then plugged in back here, and that makes it really secure and able to hold the weight. Otherwise, it would probably droop. And then that shoulder bit earlier, it plugs into here. And wow, I just got random pieces of paper everywhere. So yeah, so now this is how it looks, yeah? Get it? So if you see these heels of the paleo foot, they're plugged into the bottom of the, or they're plugged into one of the ports of the rack leg. And so what you can do, you just pop this out. Sorry. What I'm doing is you're unplugging it from the Ractonite body. The reason the fit is so tight is, again, I got these little pieces of paper in here. Otherwise, it'd just be super loose and goosey. And so I took that out. And how is this all connected on the back then? They're actually connected here. See the tiny little rack leg where he's flying like, yeah. The tiny little rack leg. The heel plugs into the paleo calf. The paleo calf's heel then plugs into this thing, which then plugs in here. And that makes it very secure. But we're just going to pop off everything. See how that goes. Yeah. Everything. Take that off too. And now it's really easy to recognize. Rack body, Paleotrex dinosaur face, paleo foot, and dino or robot face over there. All right, thanks for your time. This is Agent Orton. No, this is the longest video I've recorded so far, and I'm having fun, but I feel like such a chode right now, dude. All right, let me pause this, and I'll see if I can put them back together. Give me 1 second. Nah, you know what? I'm not gonna put them back together. So you have Mazinger instead. Thanks, guys. It's Agent Orange. I appreciate your time, and have a great day. And yeah, hope you're cool, and you are cool. So am I. Anyway, I'm just rambling at this point. Bye bye. Have a great day.